Justin Hayward and I'm 43 years old and I'm from Ballarat in Victoria. My routine is based on me as a first year teacher being very naive to many things still, and it's about 80% truth. I was doing my routine in the backyard for a change of pace and I got through it and I heard the neighbour cough and close their door next door, and I thought, oh, he must think I'm totally mad. I'm not so worried about tonight because I had a bit of a run through and I'm just so excited to be part of a grand final again. Not since under 16 football, so it's exciting.
Make him feel really welcome from Victoria, Mr. Justin Hayward!
My name is Justin Hayward and I'm a secondary school English teacher, and I wanted to, if I can, talk about the worst day of my teaching existence, or as the Education Department came to call it, the teabagging incident. As a young, naive first-year teacher, I had only one definition for teabagging, and it was this. You take a tea bag, you dunk it into some water, you rub the tea bag across a piece of paper, and when the paper dries, it looks old, authentically aged, like a document from a bygone time. So on this particular day, I'm teaching Year 9s, and I'm getting them to pretend that they're convicts on the First Fleet coming out to Australia, and they're writing letters back home to their loved ones. And it wasn't going very well. I remember one letter. Dear Mum and Dad, sorry I stole that loaf of bread, but it was only a loaf of bread. For fuck's sake. The ship that I am on is gay. The food that we eat is gay. The captain of the ship who discovered Oz, Captain James Bond, is gay. So it was going pretty terribly anyway at that stage, and that's when I decided to introduce to the students, or the gang as I like to call them, the concept of teabagging their work. Now, one particular student, let's call him Gavin, because that's his name. Gavin starts laughing uncontrollably every time I mention teabagging, every time I'm demonstrating my teabagging to the students. And it's getting out of hand, and I have to do something. So, in a very loud and clear voice from across the room, I say the following words, which I've been trying to drink out of my memory ever since. I said, Gavin, I'll teabag you in a minute. Now, later on in the principal's office, with the principal and Gavin and Gavin's parents and the police, I find out that there's another meaning to the term teabagging. Apparently, teabagging is a slang term for a particularly unusual adult bedroom practice. So anyway, back in the principal's office, misunderstandings are aired. It's decided that I have a bit of a spell for a few days, just to sharpen up on my self. 7 years after the incident, I walk into La Paquetta's restaurant in Ballarat. Ballarat is where all this pain comes from. And who happens to be serving me from across the counter? But it's Gavin. Gavin takes my order and goes out the back. 10 minutes later, he comes back with my pizza. I get it home, I open up the box, and guess what Gavin's left for me? Smack bang in the middle of my pizza. Right on top of the egg of my Aussie. It was an imprint of his testicles. So that's a disgusting story. But as my counsellor says, better out than in. Thank you very much for having me. Good night.